On this episode of the Massive Agent Podcast, we're going to talk about how to improve your listing presentation, how to put together a listing presentation that actually works, that'll actually convert and get you more listings.
The Massive Agent Podcast, with lead generation tips and strategies to get you more leads and sell more homes.
I love to buy houses. I like to sell houses.
It takes brass balls to sell real estate.
Wait a minute.
The leads are weak. You're weak.
I've had better.
Oh, have I got your attention now?
Here's your host, Dustin Brohm.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to episode number 42 of the Massive Agent Podcast. Thank you for listening. My name is Dustin Brohm, your host. I am a realtor in Salt Lake City, Utah with eXp Realty. I run a couple companies here in Salt Lake called Search Salt Lake, which is my real estate media company, and then a totally separate media company called Salt Lake Insider. I'm also the founder of the Massive Agent Society. If you're brand new to the show, the Massive Agent Society is our membership group. We only allow one agent per market to join, and we teach you Facebook ads. Not only do we teach you Facebook ads, but we give you Facebook ad campaigns that you can copy and paste and run in your area. It takes a lot of the guesswork out because we're giving you campaigns that have been proven to work. The only thing you need to do is learn how to tweak them and make little adjustments depending on where you're at, because obviously the same ad doesn't work in Miami as it does in Sioux Falls. So you have to tweak little things here and there. But that's what our group is for. We give some hand-holding, we give support, there's training, and only one agent per market, so you know that you're the only one running these ads. Okay, before I get into the content today, and I'm going to talk about listing presentations, and this is pretty cool because I get asked quite a bit about how to do an effective listing presentation, because there's a lot of companies out there, a lot of brokerages that give their agents listing presentations that frankly suck. They're just pure garbage because pretty much they just talk about the company. It's like, well, we've been around since 1972 and, we have this many agents and blah, blah. And it's all about the company. Okay. I'm going to tell you why that's garbage and how you can do one that actually works and actually will impress the seller, which is kind of the point. First thing, I have somewhat of an announcement. So this is kind of cool and it's also frustrating. Okay. So as you know, as realtors, the cost of health insurance is insane. It's absolutely out of control. And it gets worse and worse every single year. But then we all have these friends that are kind of insulated. They don't have a clue how hard it is to get insurance or how expensive it really is because they get it from their employer. Okay, they have access to group health insurance that we as self-employed, independent contractors that we don't have. And it's frustrating. Now, if you just went and got a job at Amazon or at Microsoft or at Boeing or a smaller company, like a REI or whatever it is, they offer group health insurance, which are pretty dang good rates, right? Pretty dang good plans. And most people don't even know how crazy health insurance is for the rest of us. Well, here's something that's kind of exciting or potentially exciting. There was a rule change made, or at least something was defined differently in the middle of 2017 that basically was giving guidance that an association, not necessarily an employer, but an association or a trade group could actually start offering association health plans, which is kind of like a group health plan. Well, I can't think of a bigger trade group out there than the National Association of Realtors. There's over 2 million of us. Okay, you can get amazing insurance through Amazon or through Google or through, whoever, but they don't have 2 million employees, not even close. So do you think if we were allowed to, that NAR, the National Association of Realtors, do you think they could go out and negotiate some insanely attractive health insurance for us as members? I think they could. Well, guess what? They're trying to. They're actually working on this. How cool would that be if you could get true, actual group health insurance or association health plans as a member of the National Association of Realtors? To me, in my eyes, that would be the biggest perk NAR could ever give, because I don't know what else they do really aside from some lobbying and stuff, but that's our pack. There's just a whole lot of mystery about what the National Association of Realtors even does for us members. But if they were able to get us access to these health insurance plans so we don't have to go through the marketplace and we don't have to pay as much as a damn mortgage payment every month for insurance that we probably don't even use, that would be the biggest benefit ever. And, it would be a no-brainer for NAR to want to do this because that would be a huge magnet to attract more members, which obviously they're interested in doing. They want to grow their membership base, as they should. Well, they're working on this, guys, but they've run into a bunch of roadblocks and a bunch of legal headwinds, if you will, that are making this not impossible, but that are just making it super tough. So they're working on it. However, I've been asked by a friend of mine, he's actually in NAR's leadership, and he's asked me to help spread the word and get the word out about what they're trying to do. Because NAR needs to know that we demand these health plans. Because I'm sorry, it's not right to have to pay $2,000 a month just for insurance that you might not ever use, and then once you actually have to go to the doctor, you have to pay on top of that. That's horseshit. That's not okay. So what you can do to help get the word out is to reach out to NAR. And first, I want you to read the article from NAR that explains what they're trying to do and some of these legal headwinds that they're running into. I posted on the 9th of October, just 2 days ago from when I released this. I posted on the Massive Agent Podcast Facebook page. Go over there, find that article, read it, obviously, and then take action, reaching out to NAR, reach out to the leadership in your area, and let them know that you demand these plans. You want this. You support it, you want it, and then say, what can I do to help? What I've been asked to do is to help spread the word. So if you would share that Facebook post, ideally targeted to, if you have a Facebook list set up, ideally targeted to other realtors in your area or just your realtor friends, and get them to do the same thing. Get that thing in front of everyone. Not everyone's going to read it, of course. They'll just read the headline, but spread the word so that NAR knows we want these plans. So again, go to the Massive Agent Podcast Facebook page. It was a post I did on the 9th. Read the article and share it, please. This could be absolutely huge. Okay, listing presentations. So I've been asked by somebody who is, usually it's someone who's on a team and their team gives them a listing presentation and they're like, you know what, this doesn't work very well. Well, I know what that's like. Okay, even though I wasn't necessarily on a team, my previous brokerage, well, and even my current brokerage, they give you a listing presentation, like a PDF or whatever, that you can use. But, here's what you need to know. You have to customize your listing presentation because the company, the brokerages, they're just kind of showing info about the company. They're not really talking to the consumer. Here's what you need to know. This is the number one rule, the golden rule with listing presentations. The only thing that matters in the eyes of a seller, the only thing that's actually going to get their attention and win them over is if you show them what's in it for them. What does a seller care about the most? How much freaking money they're going to make. How much money are they going to make? How fast is the home going to sell? And how easy and smooth of a process are you going to make it? That's all they care about. Everything else is bullshit. Everything else does not matter. So if your listing presentation isn't directly addressing what they care about, and showing them how you're going to sell their house for the most and how you're, all that stuff. If it's not doing that, you don't have a shot. So I highly recommend that if you do get a listing presentation from your company, there's probably some good stuff in there, but I need you to add some stuff. Here's what I recommend. Always do your listing presentation on an iPad. An iPad these days is a few $100s. You don't have to get the newest. You don't have to get the iPad Pro. It doesn't need to be the big boy. But get an iPad. It has to be on an iPad. If it's paper, you're done. Unless you're just the most amazing, golden-tongued closer ever, do it on an iPad. Not to mention, it's easier. You're showing that, hey, I'm actually a tech-savvy agent, which you must be these days. And then every time you need to make an update or make a change or add something to it, it's easy. You don't have to reprint it. So go get an iPad if you don't have one. And if you do, make sure you have Keynote. Okay, that's Apple's version of PowerPoint. Use Keynote, you can do a lot more with it, and then you just create slides, okay? And then you can just swipe between the slides. So if you have one from your brokerage, cool, take some of those slides, delete others, customize them, add to it, make it work. So I'm going to run through the listing presentation that I personally use, that I think works great. So I do it on an iPad. I don't start off with a bunch of information about eXp Realty, about my brokerage, because it doesn't matter. The consumer doesn't give a rip. Unless you're in the luxury market, I understand the brokerage might still matter in the high-end listing world, in the luxury market. I get it. I'm not dumb. But for the most part, for the average agent and the average consumer, they don't give a rat's ass about the brokerage because it doesn't matter. They only care about the agent and really what the agent's going to do for them. So I go right into it. I say, look, I understand that the only reason I'm here, Mr. Seller and Mrs. Seller, is that you're selling your home and you want to find out how much money you can get for it. Obviously, you want to get as much as possible. I'm going to show you how I do that and why I think I'm better suited than pretty much anyone else in our market. I then go to show them my website, searchsaltlake.com. I show them screenshots of the analytics and the traffic that we get. There was 1 month where we had 35,000 monthly visitors to the site. Now, that's not average, but I will show them that I'll get upwards of 35,000 monthly views. And I explained, this is above and beyond the exposure that the listing's going to get by being on the MLS. And on this website, my Search Salt Lake website that I have, not only do I get this traffic, but I'm going to feature your listing, so it's going to be prominently displayed above all others. And then I ask them a question. I say, if I was able to get your home seen by, let's say, 10,000 more people than every other agent, do you think your home would sell for more or less? They always say more. Always ask them little questions like this, even though they're obvious. They're kind of dumb little questions, but it gets them to kind of opt in. It gets them to kind of come to where you're at. So I say, would you get more or less money than if it had the average number of eyeballs? They always say yes. Then I start showing them some of the Facebook ad campaigns I do. It's really a lot of talking me up, but I talk me up to show that I'm an effective marketer for their home. It's not just about me and my ego. It's about what I am good at, which Facebook ads, lead generation, marketing, landing pages. I show them how my expertise with that benefits them because it helps them get more exposure. More exposure means a higher sales price and a faster sale. I'll show them examples of Facebook ads that I run. I show some of the analytics behind that. I explain how I can target. I explain how Facebook ads work. Most people don't know this. If you've been listening to the show, you might take it for granted that everyone knows how Facebook ads work, but that's not how it works. I show that you can target a certain type of person in a certain part of town, maybe with a certain job title, maybe in a certain demographic, with certain interests that would be more likely to be interested in that particular property, and I can show the ad right to them. So when I explain that I can actually pick the audience that sees the ad, it blows them away. I'd say 9.5 out of 10 times, they had no idea that it works like that. They're kind of creeped out, and sometimes I'll even joke about that. I'll say, kind of creepy, right? Creepy but effective. And they always laugh and agree. They're like, well, yeah, if it's benefiting me, that's fantastic. I'll show some examples of video and drone video that I've done at previous listings, and I say, look, I'm going to do this for you. This video and all these Facebook ads and all this marketing I do, this is included in this full service listing. I don't charge any extra for this stuff. This is all stuff that I pay for out of my pocket up front to get your home sold. And then I hit it one more time. I say, my biggest thing is getting a massive amount of exposure for your property, because more eyeballs equals more dollars in your pocket. And ultimately, Mr. Seller, I know that that's what matters most to you. If you have a big network, a big database of past leads, leads from old Facebook ads that are all just piling up in your CRM, that's valuable. So make sure you let the seller know that, hey, I have this list of 1,500 buyers or 200 buyers or whatever it is that are looking for homes in our area right now. And so I send your listing to them before it hits the market, and we may even have a buyer before it actually goes live on the MLS. And then if, like me, if you have a big network of other realtors from all around the country, so if you're a member of the SnapPack Real Estate Facebook group, you have this huge network of other realtors all around the country, right? So I talk about the SnapPack Facebook group that we started and how there's 3,500 agents all around the world. I'm like, I can leverage those people, Now, it's not like I'm going to go blast my listings in the group. We'll actually kick your ass out if you do that. But if there's a listing that I think might resonate with people in a certain part of the country, yeah, I'll go talk to those agents. Say, look, if you have anyone looking for something like this, check this out. Don't forget to talk about this big database of buyers you have and your network of other realtors all around the country. Usually by this point, the seller is like, wow, this is awesome. Like, obviously they're going to get me a ton of exposure, more than I even thought possible. Then you hit them with showing what you do to make the experience great. Show them how you have transaction coordinators and assistants to kind of help things go smoothly. Educate them on the process a little bit. But ultimately, you're trying to show them that, hey, we do so much for you that the stress level is basically none. After that, I personally don't put a lot of pressure on them. I say, look, how soon are you looking to sell your house? And they'll tell me. I'll say, when the time comes, I'd greatly appreciate it if you would consider us. We would do an amazing job, as I think you'd agree. So I'd like to ask you to list the home with us when you're ready to do so. And then I'll even ask, would that be okay with you, or would that work? And they'll usually say yes. Okay, get them to opt in. Okay, get them to commit a little bit verbally. That's key. So guys, I'm not telling them the history of my brokerage. I'm not telling them how many agents we have in the brokerage. I'm not telling them much about anything. I'm not going into like all the different jobs I used to do when I was growing up. Like none of that matters. Okay. If you can just jump right into it and say, here's how we're going to sell your house for a crap load of money, and I'm going to do it quicker and better than anyone else, they're going to go with you. But if you dilute it with a bunch of fluff and make the listing presentation take 45 minutes with, here's pictures of my family, sure, have some pictures of your family, maybe like one slide that just like, look, I'm a local guy, I'm a father, I have 2 kids, here's my beautiful wife, here's what we like to do. Yes, do that, but don't do like 5 different slides of that stuff, okay? Just get right to it. But start with exposure. Start with exposure, because then they're pretty much sold on you. Then everything else you show them is just gravy. It's just bonus on top, and you're getting them that much closer to hiring you. Guys, that's a listing presentation. It doesn't have to be super high tech. It doesn't have to be super fancy. Ultimately, you just need to remember what sellers care about most, and that's how much they're going to sell the house for and how fast can you do it. That's it. Remove all the other bullshit, because it doesn't matter. I hope that helps, because I know some of you guys are just overcomplicating the crap out of your listing presentations, and you're not too stoked on the results. I know, because I get your messages. I get your feedback, and I see your comments in other groups. I get it. You have to focus on what sellers care about. That's it. And then show them how you can solve it. Okay. Every once in a while, if I come across something that I'm really stoked on, like a product or a service, I'll mention it. Like when I got back from Jackson Hole a couple weeks ago, I told you about Rover for finding a dog sitter. Super stoked on Rover. That was cool. But for the last few weeks, I've been taking a brain supplement. That sounds so weird. A brain supplement. I don't know why, but I'm one of these people that, like, ever since I saw the movie Limitless, I'm like, ooh, what can I take to help me be focused more and be smarter and, stupid stuff. I know it's kind of childish, but I'm like, I want to perform better. I want to have more clarity, more focus, be able to think more clearly, have more energy. I want that, right? So I've been trying a bunch of different brain pills, brain energy, brain focus pills. Well, the ones that work are like $100 a month, which is just stupid. So I've been looking around, and I've tried a good half dozen or so, but I found one at Brain Hero Pill. It's called Brain Hero. It's by a local company here in Salt Lake. After two weeks or so, there's a noticeable difference in my focus and clarity and energy. Like, I'm stoked. It's only $50. So if you, like me, are always looking for some supplement to give you a little bit of an edge, check out Brain Hero, brainheropill.com. These guys are not a sponsor. I wish they were. That'd be cool. But they don't know that I'm saying this. It's just, I think that the Brain Hero supplement is awesome. So if you are looking for something like that, check out brainheropill.com. And that's the key to success right there. Yep. Brain pills. Forget the listing presentation, forget social media, forget content marketing. Just take a brain pill. The rest will just happen, right? Now, jokes aside, I love that stuff. I'm going to keep on using it long term because it works. Okay, so last week I mentioned that you could actually subscribe to our Alexa flash briefing through our chatbot on the Massive Agent Podcast Facebook page. Now, you're all going to go to the Massive Agent Podcast Facebook page already to read that article from NAR about the association health plans, right? So after you read it and after you share that, hit message the page. That's how you get to our chatbot. And then it'll prompt you to enable our flash briefing. So then on Alexa, you can listen to our Massive Agent Minute flash briefing. So 7 days a week, 365. I have a 60 to 90 second little tidbit for you guys, little tip, little idea, little strategy, a bit of news. It's a way to get your daily dose of the Massive Agent necessity. Massive Agent necessity, I like that. Rather than waiting, for the podcast once a week. So go enable that through our chatbot at the Massive Agent Podcast Facebook page, or you could just go to massiveagentpodcast.com/our briefing. That'll take you to it as well. Now, to be honest, I feel like I would be totally irresponsible, derelict in my duties, actually, if I didn't invite you to come work with me with eXp Realty on my team. See, I'm looking to expand my team of fellow agents who work closely together. We're like-minded. We have similar goals, similar marketing approaches, and people who see the vision in this brokerage the way that I do. People who see the upside and see the potential that I did, and they want that for themselves. I invite you to come work with me at eXp Realty. Come join our team. We have people all across the country. And as we keep growing, we're definitely going to be adding some cool stuff to give you guys more tools, in addition to the free Massive Agent Society membership that you get anyways for joining our team. We do that because we want you to have the tools to sell more homes, to be successful. Because when you're successful, so are we. It's a beautiful business model. If you want to see what the business model is all about and why I'm pitching it on every frickin' podcast episode, you can simply press play on a video and it'll show you everything you need to know. MassiveAgentPodcast.com/EXP. MassiveAgentPodcast.com/EXP. Click play. That's it. If you like it, awesome. Let's talk. If you don't, that's cool too. Thanks for watching. I want to thank you guys for listening, for helping us to reach 100 reviews. It was a big milestone that I wanted to hit. I'm super stoked that we were able to hit it within our first year. So thank you guys. Everyone who's left a review or rating on iTunes, I can't thank you enough. It helps us grow our audience. It helps the Massive Agent Podcast be seen and heard by more people. So if you've received any value at all from this podcast, if you've learned anything new, if you've been entertained, if you think that your time listening to this show is well spent, the least you could do is leave a review or a rating on iTunes, right? I think that's exactly right. So if you would, go leave us a rating or a review on iTunes, and I will love you forever. And to make your life easier, to make it easier to go and actually leave a review, we created a direct link. All you have to do is on your phone, type in MassiveAgentPodcast.com/review. MassiveAgentPodcast.com/review takes you right to it. Leave a quick rating or a review, and boom, you've done your part, and you've earned my love for life. All right, guys, this has been episode number 41 of the... 42. 42? Let's see. Yep, episode number 42 of the Massive Agent Podcast. Thanks for listening. I hope you guys have an amazing weekend. Go out there and sell some homes and have a kick-ass listing presentation. Take care, guys.